Hello, everyone. I am so excited about tonight for you to get a chance to meet one of my new friends. So, what kind of a day did you have today? I see it's so nice to see somebody with sleeveless tops on when we're sitting up here all bundled up in sweaters.
Yes, I'm in Florida, sunny Florida. It's like
Yeah.
summer here already.
Is it like summer? What's the temperature like down there today?
It's in the 70s, I think. Yeah,
Oh my
it's in the
gosh.
70s. It's nice. It's great weather, and I know we're gonna have another cold snap, but I'm enjoying every minute of this while I can.
Yeah. Hasn't it been crazy what's been going on in California? Your daughter's out there. Has
Yes.
she been in the snow at all or
No, she has not seen snow.
no?
She's about 30 minutes outside of Los Angeles, but she said it's been raining, and the people there don't know what to do when it rains.
Yeah.
What is the
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a friend that lives actually downtown LA, and she took pictures of the Hollywood sign with the snow behind it. Now she's from the Midwest, so she knows what, snow and cold is really like. But she made a
Bizarre.
comment about, it's been, I think she's been out there, I think like 18 years or whatever, and she's never seen anything like it. So it's crazy, crazy, crazy. So all right, well, let's get started here tonight. Welcome, ladies, to a night of macros and metabolism, helping you to feel good from the inside out. I had a chance to meet our guest speaker back in December during an online training that I was attending, and I was not familiar with macros. And I loved her presentation. And I decided that you needed to meet her too. So put in the comments, do you know about macros? Put macros if you know, or no, I don't know. I'm excited to learn. Remember to click on the share button at the bottom too, because I am certain that your friends are going to enjoy this too. So find that little share button. It looks like a little arrow like that too. And also while Shauna is presenting tonight, go ahead and put your questions as you're thinking about them in the comments. And at the end, we're going to go ahead and take some time to be able to answer all of those too. So let's get a chance to meet our speaker tonight. Her name is Shauna Phelps. She's a certified nutrition coach. She's married, a mom of two. And as she said, she's living on the beautiful Gulf Coast of Florida. So Shauna survived ovarian cancer at 21 and chased her health in all the wrong places with over 20 years and went through surgical menopause at 43. Now listen, going through menopause is not any fun at all. Surgical menopause, when you're forcing your body to do that, that has to be rough. I am certain. She believes that no hardship should be wasted. God intends for us to share our personal experiences to impact the lives of others. And this is why she walks confidently every day, knowing that she is doing her purpose work. Her mission is to empower women. Sounds familiar. That's what we do in Mary Kay too. And she wants to ditch the diet drama and create a thriving metabolism. So are you ready? Sit back in your chair and enjoy learning how to take your energy, your confidence, and your body back without the diet drama. Let's go.
That was so nice, Becky. Thank you so much. I am thrilled to be here, and I just want to share with you what a gift this is for me to be able to be here with you all today. And I'd like to just applaud you all for being here. I know that you are all very busy. I'm sure you have a lot on your plate, and you are here tonight showing up for yourself and hopefully with the intention of elevating your life. That's my hope for you. In your business or whatever it is that you are here for. If you are a customer of Mary Kay, this is such an amazing community, and it's just a gift for me to be here. So let's get started with the slides.
All right, there we go.
Okay, so I have kind of a slideshow so you guys don't have to look at my bobblehead the whole entire time. But today we're going to talk about basically macros and metabolism, how to ditch the diet drama and reclaim your body through macros, movement, and a thriving metabolism. In our time, I'm going to teach you the strategies that I teach my clients to break free from the diet drama, to feel their absolute best with food, proper exercise, and lifestyle habits that make massive impacts for them. By the time we are done tonight, you're going to understand how to use macro-based nutrition to increase your energy and thrive through every season of life. So tonight, we're going to cut through the noise and talk about what it really takes to reclaim your body through macros, movement, and a thriving metabolism. What I'm going to share with you tonight is truly the secret sauce. For me, feeling better today, postmenopausal at 46, better today than I did even in my 20s and 30s, and how I've helped hundreds of other women do the same thing. Most of the women that I work with, they feel like they've done it all. They come to me, they're overwhelmed by all the noise out there, all the nonsense, all the things that we're being bombarded with. And, you know, maybe things that even worked for them for a while aren't working for them anymore. And maybe this is you too. Maybe not, but whatever everything that I'm going to teach you today, I promise you that every person that's here can benefit from this. Maybe you've really never learned how to use real food and exercise as a tool to reach your goals in the most effective way. Or maybe you're like a lot of the women that I work with, and you know, you're tired of feeling like you're losing and gaining the same amount of weight over and over again, and you feel like this process is just getting harder for you. Or maybe you're somebody that is struggling or just starting to struggle with weight gain or low energy. Maybe you're not sleeping well at night. We have stressful lives. As women, we deal with a lot. Maybe you're starting to suffer from mood swings. Or maybe for the first time in your life, you're like, I have no motivation and I don't know what is happening. And no matter what you do, you can't seem to get these things under control. Or maybe you are sitting there and you feel like food is the enemy. And exercise is punishment for you. It's not something that you enjoy. And you know that things that you try to do to look and feel your best just really aren't working for you anymore. And you know that these things are not realistic. And maybe you're just sitting there, or you've been sitting there kind of having an aha moment, like, maybe I'm going about this all the wrong way. If you feel any of these things that I've just listed, I want you to know that you are not alone. And I promise you, healthy eating and exercise does not have to feel this hard, this overwhelming, and this complicated, okay? And I want you to also understand that this is about more than just how we look. Right? Maybe you know, like, and you feel, maybe you haven't been fueling your body correctly, and you know that, and you know there's something missing, and this is affecting your energy, it's affecting your confidence, it's affecting the way that you show up for yourself and the people around you. And so it's really important for me to get the message across to you guys and every woman that I speak to. This is not just about how we look. Yes, we want to have confidence and we want to feel good in our own skin, but this is about how we feel, okay? I want you to have it all. And every client that I work with, I want them to have it all. I want them to look and feel their best. I want them to have energy. I want you to sleep good. I want you to feel like you are in a great mood, you're light on your feet, you have a zest for life, and you are living your life with intentional purpose every day, okay? So I want to start off just by kind of sharing a little bit about me. Becky did a great intro, but I really want to take a deep dive and tell y'all a little bit about who I am, why I'm here today, and why this is my mission in life, to share these things with you. Like she said, my name is Shauna Phelps. I'm a certified macronutrition coach, and I do this work every day because I survived ovarian cancer at 21. And then I spent 20-ish years chasing my health in all the wrong places. I let diet culture tell me what I was supposed to be doing, what healthy looked and felt like. And so I searched for those things in all the wrong places. And then I went through surgical menopause, like Becky said, at 43. So I understand what it feels like to fight my way back, but I also understand that there are no limits for you for what's possible when you understand how to use real food to fuel your body the way that you need to in order to have the energy and the stamina and everything that you need to face adversity and live your life on purpose. And let me just preface this by saying that my health journey, it started with the right intentions in place. So maybe you've had the right intentions, but of wanting to build your body up, but maybe you haven't understood, like me, that I was doing all the wrong things. What I was doing was actually breaking my body down. So after surviving ovarian cancer at 21, my health took on a completely different meaning for me at a very young age. Taking care of myself became my number one priority. And I got a little obsessive about it, if I'm being honest. Um, my, I mean, I looked at my health, like I just looked in all the wrong places for it. I truly thought that, you know, being the smallest version of myself was me being the healthiest version of myself. I exercised a lot. I dieted a lot. I did this for years. And I literally, I spent hours in the gym. I skipped meals to control my weight. I thought that food was the enemy. And when it came to exercise, more was always better. So I didn't understand, though, that by doing these things, I was actually running my health straight into the ground. And I was starting to feel really bad. And I didn't understand why. I thought, I'm doing all the right things. And as I approached like 35, I'm 46 now, but as I approached 35, this was a total burnout for me. And it caught up with me big time. And in my late 30s, I hit my breaking point. I was completely burnt out from all of it. And a few years later, I'd had enough. I spent a few years after I, you know, hit my breaking point, just doing all the wrong, I mean, really the wrong things. I was just eating whatever I wanted to eat. I was drinking wine most nights of the week. I wasn't getting to the gym. I didn't feel motivated by exercise anymore. It just, I was completely burnt out. But I reached a point a few years after that, and I was ready for something different. And I thought, this just cannot be this hard to be healthy. Like there's got to be something else. So I did my research and I found and discovered macro-based nutrition. And this literally changed my life, y'all. This was my aha moment. And I came to understand through macro-based nutrition, food is that powerful. It is that powerful. I understood that food wasn't the enemy. It wasn't just calories. It was actually the fuel that I needed. It was the missing piece for me to be able to effectively reach my goals. So for the first time in my life, I was looking at carbs, fats, and protein as the fuel that was lighting me up with energy. I felt so incredible that I couldn't even imagine going back and, you know, eating the way that I had been eating or restricting food the way that I had done for so many years. I was reaching my goals with ease for the first time in my life, and I finally understood what healthy looked and felt like. And that took me a really long time, a lot of my lifetime to figure out. But learning about macros really freed me from that negative mindset that I had around food and exercise for years. And then I was thriving. I spent a few years just really thriving. I was in the best shape of my life. I was fueling my body with really good food, just feeling incredible. And then in 2020, I was 43 years old and I had to have a complete hysterectomy. And this hysterectomy sent me straight into surgical menopause. I felt like I had been hit by a freight train. It was not fun. And at the same time, this was the year that our world was in a global pandemic. And this was also the same time that I was moving my 15-year-old daughter across the country to pursue her dance career. So to say that my world had been rocked and turned completely upside down is a total understatement. I suddenly went from thriving to surviving again. I was back. I felt like, oh my gosh, I just don't feel like myself. I had no energy. I wasn't motivated. I wasn't sleeping well at night. Of course, I was having hot flashes. I mean, all this stuff started for me like 6 weeks in. And my body wasn't reacting to the exercise and nutrition that I had been following. And it wasn't bad, right? I had learned how to exercise effectively. I was enjoying it. I was eating in macro balance for my body. So it wasn't that I was doing the wrong things. It's just that what I was doing at that time really wasn't working for me. I had to make a couple of tweaks. So I leaned into what I knew and I pulled myself up, and I made some tweaks to what I was doing. I literally made some small tweaks with my nutrition, and I had to change some things about the way I was exercising in order to work with my new changing body and my changing hormones. And then that was it for me. I was off to the races, and here we are today. Okay. I can honestly tell you that the basics of macro-based nutrition and real food never changed. But I did have to make some small tweaks, just a shift when I went through menopause in order to be more effective. Okay. And once I embraced letting go of those things that once worked for me, this is something that's really hard for a lot of women. They hang on to for dear life for these things that maybe worked for them at some point in their life, and they won't open up their minds to, take action and try to do something a little differently. So I'll be honest, that was a little hard for me to wrap my head around, even as a nutrition coach. But once I made those shifts and I embraced that pivot, is what I like to call it, I was back to thriving. And I have my energy back. I'm stronger. I'm happier. I'm healthier. And I can honestly say that I am more at peace with my body today, postmenopausal at 46, than I have been my entire life, just because I made, some of those changes. So I want you to know that I'm here today because I know that this can be your reality too. And this is why I'm so incredibly passionate about showing you how to use real food to position yourself for the energy and the body that you desire the right way, the healthiest way. You do not have to deplete your body anymore. And you're never going to hack your way to more energy and fat loss. I promise you, these things are only making it harder, okay? This is about building your body up rather than breaking it down, and learning how to make some small tweaks for your body in order to see and experience real lasting change that makes such a massive improvement on your life and everything that you have going on in your life. I've taken years of my education, certifications, and my own personal experiences, and I've put it all together into the framework that I'm going to share with you tonight. This is the process that I use to have my clients breaking free from diet drama finally, and reaching their goals in a much healthier, sustainable, more sustainable way. And I promise this can work for you too. So let's dive into this. I want to just point out the things real quick that the topics we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to start by just going through real quick what you might be doing wrong with your current nutrition and exercise routine. I want to get clear on this, not to beat y'all up, but it's just really important for us to bring this to the forefront so we understand where we might be missing the mark and we can kind of correct that. Then I want to just bring up the one key thing that you need to in your life to really start making progress towards your goals in the healthiest, most effective, and sustainable way. Okay. And then I'm going to share with you the process. This is the biggest, the meat and potatoes of what we're going to talk about tonight. The process that I use when I work with my clients to help them take their energy, confidence, and body back without the crazy diet overwhelm. Okay. This step-by-step process that I'm going to share with you tonight is the true difference maker for my clients, and it can be for you too, helping you reach your goals in the most effective way. But not only that, being able to maintain those results. This is the missing component for so many of us, and it's why we continue to spin our wheels over and over again. So let's break this down step by step. First, I want to talk about what you might be doing wrong with your current exercise and nutrition. If you've ever tried to diet and exercise and put these things together and it hasn't gone well for you, maybe you haven't gotten the results that you were hoping for, or maybe you did, but it was only for a short time and then, you were right back at square one. This typically starts with one major mistake that I see women make. So I want to start by just seeing where we're missing the mark here, okay? So I want to just see real quick in the chat feature. Can you guys just let me know if your approach now or ever in your life, have you ever thought that the best way to just reach my goals is to eat less food and do more cardio or more exercise, whatever that is for you? If this is you, you're likely making the number one mistake, like I said, that I see women make. And that's that we don't really know what it takes to support your metabolism for real sustainable results, okay? This approach is not effective. It has a huge missing component of it. This approach is really more about working harder and not smarter. And I want to turn that around for you guys, okay? And this is why this approach is not effective, all right? Looking and feeling our best, it's not just about calories in, calories out. We are so bombarded with that thought, and it is about so much more. than calories in, calories out, especially if you want something that's sustainable for you and you want something that's going to make you feel incredible in the process. This is about you creating balance within your body, preserving your muscle mass, supporting your hormones and your metabolism, improving your gut health, and building that metabolism up so that it is firing on all cylinders. Okay, when we cut calories back too much and we don't have any regard for how much protein, carbs, or fat we're eating, we're completely missing the mark. And when we're focusing on doing the wrong type of exercise paired with that low calorie diet, there is a huge negative domino side effect or side effects that really come from this. Okay. So some of these things are your cortisol level is going to surge, especially if you're a woman that's here and you're over the age of 35. I cannot stress this enough. These strategies do not work for us at that stage in the game. Our cortisol is already, we're already starting to have higher levels of cortisol. So it just spikes those things because your body is stressed, and we're suppressing our thyroid function when we're doing these things. We're also losing muscle mass, which is huge for us. As we get older, this muscle mass, we're already losing muscle mass. So stripping calories and doing the wrong type of exercise is actually making us lose muscle. So a lot of times if you do a low calorie diet or you do a bunch of crazy extreme exercise and you see the scale going down and it goes down really fast, that's muscle that you're losing, and that's affecting your metabolism. And typically what happens is women will see that really quick fat loss from something that's extreme. And then, a month later or something, it's just creeping back on. And that's because really the most weight that they lost was in muscle tissue, not fat. And so when we lose that muscle, it slows our metabolism down. These strategies, these negative strategies also cause more inflammation in our body, which creates an atmosphere where nothing can happen for us and we don't feel well. It creates more hormonal imbalances for us and a lot of gut issues for us. So all of these things combined create a recipe for a disaster, and things start backfiring. We feel fatigued, we're low energy, we don't have any motivation. It's hard for us to move our bodies around and get to the gym and do our workouts, and we wonder what's happening with our willpower. Maybe, we suffer from brain fog. I hear this a lot from women that cut carbs out of their diet. Our sleep is trash when we're not fueling our body correctly, and our metabolism, like I said, it slows way down. And then we just start hanging on to weight. Our body is hanging on to it for dear life because it needs that for comfort and for energy. Okay. If you really want to truly get to the heart of what's going to help you reach your goals, you're going to need to make some small tweaks with what you're doing with food and exercise. And this isn't extreme, what I'm teaching you today. We do this by following some of the strategies that I'm going to share with you. I've literally had clients go from years of restrictive dieting and hours of crazy cardio to looking and feeling their best by simply learning how to use real food and effective exercise as a tool to maximize the function of their metabolism. So if we don't take time to really understand where we have kind of gone wrong in the past, it's hard for us to course correct. Like I said, so I don't want y'all to continue spinning your wheels. And that's why I really just want you to understand why some things don't work and what we need to be doing instead. Okay, the one key thing that you need to reach your goals in the healthiest, most effective, and sustainable way possible. This is the one thing. You need to be creating balance in your body, okay? Balance with all those things that I just talked about. This is where the real money is, okay? When you create balance in your body, the side effect is everything that you want and more. If you want to feel your best and you want to look your best, you have to create that balance and harmony within your body. And that requires food. It requires really good quality nutrients, not diet food, real food, okay? Exercise and lifestyle habits. These things help to support our hormones, our metabolism, our muscle tissue, and everything works optimally. And food isn't just calories, okay? It really is fuel for your goals. It's made up of macronutrients that create this balance in your body. All food falls into a macronutrient category, okay? And these macros give you energy. They help support the function of your metabolism, your hormones, and they just really improve your overall health altogether. But when these things aren't in sync, when you don't have that balance, your body fights back. And that's why we feel like we are, as women, we are depleting, we are stripping, we are doing all of the things that we can, trying to be good, eat clean, and we feel like we're banging our heads up against the wall. And it's because we can't hack our way to results. Sometimes this takes 20 years to learn, sometimes it takes longer. But the point is, now is the time. And once you have these things in sync and you have that balance, you're going to experience more effective fat loss. It's going to become easier for you. You're going to be able to increase your energy and you're going to feel amazing. Okay, so let's talk through the first component of this, which is food. I want to talk about just like the basics of macros and how you can start eating in macro balance to feel and look your best. Macros, if you've never heard about macros, maybe some of y'all have. So I don't want to be repetitive, but I'm going to just strip it back to basics. Macros are macronutrients. Macros is just a short word for macronutrients. And it's just simply carbs, fat, and protein. Literally every food that you eat every day falls under one of these three categories. Okay, so your body is counting macros for you right now, even if you've never even thought about a macro before. Okay, so macros, again, carbs, fat, and protein. If you are hoping for fat loss, the key is to eat in a moderate calorie deficit, something that you can adhere to with a focus on eating the right balance of carbs, fat, and protein. That's where the real game changer is, okay? It's not about eating super low calorie and cutting those calories way down. It's about eating in a healthy deficit where your body will actually respond and you'll have fat loss, but focusing on protein, carbs, fat, making sure you're getting enough for your body so that your body's responding in bigger ways than you could ever imagine and you're feeling incredible in that process, okay? So carbs are basically fruit, veggies, grains, beans, and you want to focus on healthy fats like nuts, nut butters, healthy oils, and grass-fed butter, proteins like seafood, eggs, chicken, steak. And I do want to just say too, like you want these macros to come from whole food sources, okay? I like to tell my clients, if it comes from the ground or it has a mother, it's fair game. We eat that, okay? That's going to fall under one of those three macros. You want to really limit your processed food, but we're busy. I mean, our foods are going to sometimes come from a package and that's okay. You just really want to be aware of, eating whole food nutrition as much as possible. When you eat like this is going to create balance in your body so that everything works optimally. And this right here is your solid strategy, okay? Without enough of the right combination of these foods, you're going to be losing muscle mass. That metabolism is going to slow down. You're going to mess your hormones up. Those are going to become more unbalanced. And this is, like I said, it's going to slow your metabolism and things are going to start going backwards for you. All right. So let's just talk through the role of each macro because I want y'all to understand why these are really, really important. The first one I always start with is carbohydrates because women are scared to death of these things. They are scared to death. And it's not, carbs aren't the issue. The issue is that, again, we're not eating these three macronutrients in balance. So if you're not consuming enough protein, that means you are eating too many carbs because the ratio is off, okay? So you want to make sure you're getting the right balance of these. But carbs help us increase our energy. They are your body's first energy source that it prefers. So it's super important for you to have carbohydrates for energy. Carbohydrates also help you sleep. If you are here and you've ever tried a keto diet and it hasn't gone well for you and you haven't slept well, this is why. Carbohydrates make you sleep like a baby. They're very important for us. They help boost your mood. So you're not going to walk around moody. If you've ever done a low carb diet, you want to rip someone's head off usually. It's not a fun place to be. Carbohydrates also help us keep our cortisol levels in check and help us with the function of our thyroid so that it's functioning properly. They help balance our hormones, and they also help us with recovery. And I'm not just talking about from your workouts, just in everyday life, the stress that we're dealing with, carbohydrates can help you manage that stress better. And then there's the healthy fats. These are like your best friend, especially if you're a woman over 35, okay? Around that time, we're starting to deal with more inflammation in our body. Healthy fats for you are going to help you reduce that inflammation. Healthy fats keep you satisfied longer. I just had a call with a new client today, and she was telling me she was starving by dinner time. I asked her what she had for lunch. There was no fat in her lunch. And I said, we've got to add a little bit of fat in there to make you, satisfied so that you can get to dinner and not feel so famished. So it helps with keeping us satisfied. It helps us with brain fog. And as we have so much on our plate, y'all, and we just deal with brain fog. And if you're a woman like me that's been through menopause, it is a real thing for us. And so having great healthy fats helps with that brain fog, and it's going to help you with any kind of sluggishness. And it's great for hormone balance. So really, really important macro. Protein is, in my opinion, the most important macro, and it's the most under-eaten macro when I start working with my clients. Protein helps us preserve muscle mass. It helps us to support our testosterone levels. And if you don't have healthy testosterone levels, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to hang on to muscle. And it also helps to reduce cravings. This is a satiating macro, so it's going to make you feel fuller longer. And you're not going to, if you're somebody that deals with sweet cravings or salty cravings, whatever your thing is, eating more protein, adding more protein into your day, is just doing that alone can really be a game changer for you. Protein also helps us optimize the function of our metabolism. It increases our metabolism. And it also helps with recovery. But the point here that I want to make is these macros are so important. If you are a woman here that wants to, if you're trying to lose some weight, that's fine, but you don't want to go into an extreme deficit. The game changer here is, again, eating in a moderate deficit, just a slight deficit, but having that focus more around eating the right balance of protein, carbs, and fat for your body so that you're preserving your muscle mass and you're supporting your hormone health and reaching your goals in the most effective way. So I want to talk just a minute about the balanced plate method. This is something that you all can walk away from tonight and start implementing right away. This is a visual that I start all my clients with when they start working with me and we start talking about macros. You can, basically think about your plate as a macro balance plate. And the way you do that, it's not really realistic for us to do this 3 times a day because of the exception of breakfast. Okay, so I want to just preface this by saying you don't have to eat half your plate of vegetables for breakfast. Okay, breakfast is going to look a little different, but at least 2 meals of the day, you want to think about having 1/4 of your plate be a great protein. 1/4 of your plate needs to be a starchy carbohydrate, and then like a tablespoon or 2 of healthy fat, and then fill the rest of that plate with a salad or some steamed or grilled vegetables. So let's go through the list real quick of each of these just to kind of, give you an idea of what these macros what you can kind of pull from to create this balanced plate. So protein can be 1/4 of your plate can be chicken breast, pork chop, ground beef, ground turkey, deli meat even. Sometimes I just roll that up as a snack and have that as part of my macro balance plate. Tuna, like little tuna packets, eggs, fish, steak. Okay, those are great protein sources. As far as starchy carbs go, you want 1/4 of your plate to be a starchy carb. So these are any root vegetables like potatoes, corn, carrots, also like oats, pasta, fruit. Any kind of fruit is a carbohydrate. Brown rice, beans, granola. Those are all great sources of healthy carbohydrates that are more on the starchy side. And then, like I said, tablespoon or 2 a good healthy fat. So healthy fats are like healthy oils: olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, grass-fed butter. My clients are amazed when I tell them that they can eat butter. Seeds, nuts, nut butters, salad dressings, and some fatty fish, or just fatty meats in general, like steak or salmon. Those are a great healthy fat as well. Then more so on the fish side, okay, is a healthy fat. Non-starchy veggies, again, fill that half of your plate up. You can have as many non-starchy veggies as you want. And these are like non-root vegetables, okay? So leafy greens, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, cucumber, broccoli, zucchini, cauliflower. Those are all great sources of vegetables. And they're full of micronutrients that are so, so good for you, okay? But next, I want to really just kind of emphasize for you, a lot of women are scared of strength training. But if you really, really want to maximize the function of your metabolism and you want to, the thing that you want to do with exercise is you want to prioritize strength training, okay? This isn't a must. I will just tell you that when I work with my clients, exercise is totally secondary, okay? Nutrition is king in my world, okay? But if you are adding workouts to what you're doing, strength training is more effective for fat loss, optimizing the function of your metabolism than cardio will ever be, okay? Cardio has a place for you. It is the best way to use cardio is for cardiovascular health. It is not an effective strategy for fat loss, okay? Cardio does not build muscle. Okay. In fact, it can actually burn through your muscle and slow your metabolism down and cause more stress for your body, especially if you're doing too much of it. If you're prioritizing cardio over strength training, you really could be hindering your progress. Okay. So muscle is what keeps your metabolic rate high. And that's really, really important for us, especially as we're getting older, because again, our metabolism's slowing down. So we have to kind of take control of that in the ways that we can. And so preserving our muscle is something that we should be doing. It should be our number one priority. And preserving our muscle at all costs needs to be like the thing you're thinking about all the time when it comes to exercise. So you want to make sure you're focused on that strength training. Without muscle mass, like I said, your metabolic rate drops significantly. And this is why a lot of women feel like they're doing cardio all the time and they still feel stuck. And this is because, just for some perspective, your base metabolic rate burns about 70% of the calories that you burn in a day. Exercise only burns about 10 to 30% of that. So you want a higher metabolic rate, and the best way to optimize that is by having muscle mass. So it's so, so important for you to do this. A strategic strength training program, and this doesn't have to be complicated, okay? I'm not talking about going out and, lifting a bunch of heavy weight and, a ton of exercises that you have to do in a day. Like this really the more basic you are with your strength training, honestly, the better it is. That is what I found in my experience. But having a strategic strength training program will help you build and preserve muscle and help you increase that metabolic rate so that you're burning calories literally around the clock. Okay. Cardio, again, it doesn't have that kind of impact. So it's just not as effective for fat loss. It's great for cardiovascular health. I'm not knocking it. But I just watch women all the time put all their emphasis on that, and it just should not be there, okay? The best benefits that come from eating and exercising in this way is that you increase your metabolic rate, okay? You have happy hormones, you have more energy, you have more effective fat loss, you're stronger, you are less inflamed and less bloating. I hear that all the time from women. You feel better, you're sleeping better, you're more toned. I get that all the time. And this process becomes so much easier for you, okay? Now, I want to take a minute to just walk you all through this process. This is kind of the meat and the potatoes of how I work with my clients and why the clients that I've worked with have really experienced just next level results, okay, that last for a long time. We know that we have to get real with how we use food and exercise to balance our hormones, burn fat, preserve muscle, and, because we need everything to work together optimally. But the missing piece is that we have to understand how to maintain our results long term, right? None of us want to diet forever. Like, this is a miserable place to be. And it's where I see so many women all the time. So this is the real difference maker, what I'm going to share with you, this step-by-step process. This is the process, like I said, that my clients are using to free themselves from diet drama. Okay, this will allow you to achieve results, real results, true fat loss in the healthiest and the most sustainable way. So we've been talking a lot about, eating in macro balance and doing resistance training because of some of the negative side effects that come from dieting and doing the wrong type of exercises, right? So I want to kind of just go back to that for just a minute and kind of just play out a little scenario for you guys, just for kicks, all right? Let's just say that it's Monday, right? Because let's just be real. Like, every Monday, we're all like, okay, it's time for me to make some changes, right? I've got to get my act together. So maybe it's Monday and you're like, I'm ready to just lose weight. I'm going to cut the calories. I'm going to cut carbs too. No bread, no sugar for me. Like, I am out. I am all on this diet kick. And maybe you even schedule a bunch of cardio classes with your girlfriends because you need these accountability partners to show up this time, right? And Monday through Friday, here you are, and you're white knuckling it through every day. You're eating tiny little meals and you're pushing yourself to get to your workouts. And by the weekend, you're like passing up the food because you need the wine and you're struggling to stay consistent, right? Everything just starts falling apart on the weekend. And every Monday, it's the same song and dance. And you know that you don't know what's happening to your motivation. You have no willpower. You can't stay consistent. You don't understand what's happening to you. And you feel like a complete failure. I see this all the time. And here we are at Monday again, right? And you're like, okay, here we are back again. I can't have this. I can't have that. It's, all or nothing. I'm back in. And by a couple weeks into this, you're hangry, you're moody, you're exhausted, you're completely burnt out. And you're falling off the wagon, right? Just to try to get yourself back on this wagon a few weeks later. Tell me this is not y'all. Like, please give me like a hands up in the chat feature. We've all been there, y'all. And the reason why is so simple. It's because women, when we want to lose weight, we don't really understand how to use real food. We're scared to death of it. We think that it is the reason why we can't, make progress. And we don't have a really crystal clear, realistic, and sustainable plan and roadmap for our success. There's not very many times where we start off with that to reach our goals, right? So we keep going back to the same wrong strategies. And these things are hindering us. They're damaging. They're ineffective for us. They're causing more issues than they are worth. Okay. So it's really, really important for y'all to have a really clear plan in place that you can actually adhere to, because there are ways to reach your goals and be able to do this with ease, okay? So I wanna walk you through this 3-step process that's gonna make this more effective for you so that you can do this in a more realistic way. The first thing I want you to do is what we've been talking about. I want you to stop, if you feel like you're a woman that has to eat really low calorie, I want you to shift your focus and start thinking about macros and eating in macro balance that's specific to your body and your goals. So you're going to need a good balance of protein, carbs, and fat for your body, not just low calorie. Again, that's totally missing the mark for us, okay? When you're eating food like this, you're going to feel amazing while you're reaching your goals. So it's such a more enjoyable process when you're doing it like this, okay? Carbs, you want to focus on those complex carbohydrates. Women need carbs, y'all. Okay. Some women, if you're here and you're over 40, like a lot of the clients that I work with are over 35, some of us need a little bit lower carb, but not no carb. And this is where we're really messing up. Carbs are a great source of fiber. Carbs come from vegetables and things, like I said, whole foods that we need. We need those nutrients. You want to get a good balance of healthy fats as well. Fats help us buffer the absorption of carbohydrates so that our bodies have a little bit more moderate insulin response. Okay, so we don't have these crazy spikes in our energy, right? How many of us are like hitting the wall in the afternoon I get that all the time. I got to have a Diet Coke at 2 p.m. because I can't function and go pick my kids up, make dinner, and get through the night. And it's because, again, we're not eating a balance. We're not adding these healthy fats in where we need to, and these proteins to help balance out these carbohydrates. So I always tell my clients, this is something that you could probably remember. Don't ever eat a carb naked. Just remember that. Don't ever eat a carb naked. Pair it with a healthy fat or a protein, or a combination of all three of these macros is even better. Make sure that you're eating adequate amounts of protein. Most active women need around 100 grams of protein. And most women that come to me, this is the thing that they are severely under eating, and it's a game changer for them when they add it back in. We need protein to help us preserve our muscle, optimize our metabolism. It's like the fountain of youth. It's literally like Spanx for our body. Who doesn't want that, right? So again, it's not really a high carb issue. The issue is that we're not eating enough protein. And so that's throwing off the ratio, and our body thinks that we're just feeding it these carbs. So it's more important for you to just get this balance, okay? So that the key really is to get the balance of carbs, fats, and proteins so that you're creating that balance within your body as well. And again, you also need to be focusing on doing the right type of movement. So you want to optimize your metabolism and protect your hormones by not doing too much crazy cardio. You need to prioritize strength training and just moving around every day in general. I get this question a lot, like how much exercise should I be doing? Again, exercise is secondary. If all you can do is eat macro balance and go walk, start there. But if you're somebody that is familiar with doing some weight training and cardio, and you're ready to kind of take the next step, I recommend 2 to 4 days of strength training each week. Maybe 1 to 2 days of cardio, maybe if you enjoy it and it's something that you need, but lots of focus around just walking, taking more steps, parking farther away at the grocery store, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, just getting up and walking around your house. If you're sitting at a desk all day, get up and walk around a little bit and talk to people. Just getting those additional steps in, that maximizes your metabolism. It's amazing for us. So when you eat in macro balance like this, and when you exercise like this, you're protecting that muscle and you're reducing stress in your body, which is so important. You're creating hormonal balance. You have less inflammation, and you're positioning your body for more effective results. You're not going to feel like you're banging your head up against the wall anymore. Okay, the second thing that I want y'all to think about, if you're here and you're hoping to lose weight, or maybe you don't need to right now, maybe there's a time that you do, I want you to remember this. This is so, so important. It's really important for us to know how long we're going to eat in a deficit. And by deficit, I'm basically talking about, we've got to cut calories back just a little bit. Like I said, that moderate deficit in order to lose weight. That's science, right? But having that emphasis on macros is the most important thing. But knowing how long we're going to eat in this deficit is a game changer. And this is huge for my clients. And this is where I see so many women get this part wrong. They get themselves in trouble. Dieting in general is very stressful for your body. Okay. Your body does not like to eat lower calories. So it starts backfiring and your hormones start down regulating. If you're not smart about it, your metabolism slows way down, and this process just ends up getting harder and harder. Okay. So for this reason, you only want to really eat in a deficit for about 12 to 16 weeks at a time, max. Okay. Any more than this, and you are sacrificing the health of your hormones and metabolism. It is not safe. Okay. I do want to kind of point out that depending on the person, you could possibly diet longer or, eat in that deficit a little bit longer than 12 to 16 weeks. But you're going to need intentional breaks. Okay. And this is where working with a coach can really be a valuable investment and asset for you. Okay. A coach can guide you through that process so that you are not sacrificing the health of your hormones and your metabolism. So I want y'all to be really intentional about any deficits you do in the future. You want to get in and get out of those things. All right. The last part of this process is knowing how to maintain the results that you've gotten. This is the part that's so huge. And it's the thing that I see so many women get wrong. And it's really it's not about us. There's not a lot of information and education out there around what we do to maintain our weight. A lot of women think, right, they just stay in that calorie deficit, right? Well, the calorie deficit is for you to lose the weight, not for you to maintain the weight. That looks a lot different. So you need to have a really clear maintenance plan for yourself. No fat loss phase should ever be complete without a maintenance plan. And this is what I do with my clients. So you already know you're going to need to eat in balance, right? And stick with a moderate deficit for 12 to 16 weeks. But what do you do when that time is up or when you've reached your goals? The final part of this is having that maintenance plan. And that maintenance plan involves a short little process of bringing your macros up to your new maintenance calories. Okay, this is the amount of food that you can eat to maintain your new weight. And I can't emphasize this enough. Don't ever continue to stay in your deficit. There's so many women that see results and they're like, okay, well, this worked for me. This is great. I am just staying with this. And then it's a couple months down the road and they are right back at square one. It's the saddest thing ever. And I don't want y'all to do this. So this is where women really get stuck and their metabolism slows down, starts down regulating. It makes a mess of their hormones. They feel terrible and the weight just slowly starts creeping back on. Okay. So maintenance truly is where you should be living most of your life when this is done right. Okay. This is the secret sauce to thriving and maintaining your results long term. It's having a maintenance plan. You should be here, I mean, forever. Like you should be able to, when this is done correctly, be able to go through a fat loss phase, get to your new maintenance and live there for as long as you want to be there. Okay. This is what gives your hormones a break. It gives your metabolism a break and it gives your sanity a break. Okay. When you have a maintenance plan, clear maintenance plan, and it's done correctly, like I said, you should be able to stay here for a while. Okay. When I coach my clients, we approach fat loss phases and body composition changes in a healthy way like this. I want my clients to have results that they can maintain forever. I customize their macros and their calorie deficit so they're at their sweet spot for preserving the muscle on their body so that we can optimize the function of their metabolism while they are burning fat. Okay, this is what helps them feel amazing. We schedule fat loss phases and we always include a maintenance plan where they are guided every step of the way. They're eating real food, they're feeling amazing, and they're maintaining their results long term. It's so important for us to master our metabolism in this way. If we're really hoping to break free from any kind of crazy solutions that and yo-yo dieting that we've tried to continue to go back to, if we want to break free from that and stop swimming upstream, it's really important for us to master this. All right. When you do these things, when you focus on eating real food and the right balance for your body, and you exercise in a way that is mindful of the stress load on your body, and it focuses on true fat loss, not just weight loss, while you're preserving muscle, when you have a clear plan in place that includes intentional, timed fat loss phases and a maintenance plan at the end to help you sustain your results long term, there's 3 things that radically change for you going forward, okay? You have more hormonal balance, you have less inflammation, less bloating, your metabolism is functioning properly, and it is running on all cylinders. It is more flexible going forward. You get your body back, okay? You're able to burn fat rather than muscle. And just in this alone, you look more toned and you feel incredible. You'll have more energy. You'll become healthier. And like I said, this whole process is going to become so much easier for you. You're not going to have to deal with the diet drama anymore. And that's my hope for you. I've personally followed this process for the last several years, and I have coached hundreds of women through their health journeys. And I promise you, these are not just speculation, okay? This is proof. I want to share just a couple of my clients here that I have on the screen. Emily in the middle, take for instance, Emily. Emily is in the health and wellness industry. She's a personal trainer. She knows her stuff. She's 47 years old when she came to me. She had spent years taking care of her body. And remember when we talked about like eating less and doing a bunch of cardio or staying stuck with the same strategies that you've done for years because it used to work, but you know, maybe now you feel stuck. Well, these were Emily's pitfalls. Okay. She was hanging on to these things that she knew she was a professional. Like she knew this stuff, and these things weren't serving her anymore. And she just said, Shauna, I need help. She was exercising a ton. She was sticking to a regimented meal plan that I can't even believe somebody wrote for her. And after 1 month of following a customized macro plan and exercise recommendations that I made for her, I helped her make some tweaks what she was doing with her exercise. She was eating more food and she was exercising less, and she was finally making momentum towards her goal. She ran up to the gym and she's like, Shauna, this is working. I cannot believe it. So not only that, but she had been suffering from a lot of bloating. She thought she was having, you know, food sensitivity issues. And really it was just a matter of getting her body balanced and getting rid of that stress she was dealing with all the exercise and severely cutting those calories. Okay. So she was feeling amazing. She was another one that was hitting the afternoon wall, and her energy was back. She felt incredible. And then I'll just share one more. Tara Renzi. Tara, she's on the left side of the screen. If you don't have her book, Tara's a book author. She wrote Be Who You Came to Be. I'm going to just plug that because it's an amazing book that every woman needs to read. Tara came to me. She was much like Emily. It's not that she didn't know how to take care of her body. She was working out with a personal trainer. She had even tracked macros. She knew the deal with macros, but Tara was not eating enough carbs, and she was tired of it. She traveled a ton and she wanted to implement carbs back into her life and have results. And she was also really sick and tired of focusing on the scale all the time. So we kind of worked through some of that mindset wise, and I created a custom plan for her. We incorporated carbs back into her life. And literally within a couple weeks, Tara was messaging me and saying, Shauna, I just can't believe what eating in macro balance and having these carbs back does for me. She felt like she was glowing. She had energy. She was on a trip when she sent that to me, and she was amazed that she could actually travel and feel like she could do this with ease. So anyway, I want y'all to know that this can be possible for you too. Okay. I want you to imagine showing up every day more energetic, motivated, confident, and empowered, because you're finally enjoying food and you understand how to use food and exercise as a tool to work with your body rather than against it. Imagine planning out your goals thoughtfully and strategically and well in advance, right? Knowing you have a roadmap and feeling really excited about your goals instead of feeling like your goals are this impossible burden or something that you have to really amp yourself up to go try to chase after. When you go through the hard seasons, when you're fueling your body correctly and you start going through hard seasons of your life, or you hit plateaus, you're prepared for the adversity. Okay. You've prepared yourself. You're stronger, you're better equipped, and you know how to navigate these things because you've learned how to use these tools to work with your body. When you use food and exercise like this as a tool to reach your goals, and you have a solid plan for long-term success, you become healthier and you're able to thrive through every season of your life. And I promise you, everything in your life just gets better. It really, truly does. It just gets better. And I just hope that you guys, got some great tidbits out of this. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. It really is my mission to help you get really effective about reaching your goals in a healthy way and in a sustainable way. And I want you to, if you're here and you've battled with all the diet drama and you're overwhelmed with all the things you're being bombarded with out there, I want you to understand that there is a better way for you. I specialize in working with really women that are over 35, 40, and these principles that I've shared with you today, they're things that I teach them, but really anybody can benefit from this. Okay. Men can benefit from this. I had somebody call me the other day and she said, I did a master class last week, and she said, I was showing my 21-year-old son your master class. And he said, Mom, I don't have menopause. And she said, son, this is about food, because I talk about menopause a lot. But anyway, anyone can benefit from this. And I've watched macro-based nutrition and real food changed so many lives, and I know that it can do the same thing for you. And I would love to take questions from you guys, but first I want to just talk about how y'all can connect with me, because I want to connect with you guys. Please follow me on Instagram. I would love for you to follow me and shoot me a quick little DM. Let's get to know each other so I can follow you back and support you in your business and your life. And if you have questions, drop them in the chat feature. If you think of something later on, feel free to email me. You can email me at Shauna@shaunaphelps.com. I also have a website, shaunaphelps.com. I have a blog. It has a lot of great things. Hopefully you can dive in there. I've got some free resources on my website. Feel free to download any of those, take advantage of those things. But I would love to hear your questions.
All right. Oh my gosh. I've been through this once, and now to go back through it a second time, it even makes even more sense to me too. So while we wait for them to pop in some questions, I'm just going to kind of give them a couple of things here. We're going to make sure that you share the final code word with your beauty consultant. It was macros for tonight. And then next week, come back for Boosters Boot Camp, because we've got a time that we're going to learn about all of the 4 new boosters that we have in Mary Kay. It could seem kind of confusing, so we're going to walk you through it so you can understand what's going on there too. So let's take some questions, and I think I'm going to get started with it first here.
Okay.
I've got a couple of questions here myself. How much protein should we eat? I mean, I know that is something that I would struggle with.
It's a big one. And like I said, it really is the biggest macronutrient that women are under eating. And when they even just make that slight shift, they really see a difference in their energy and how they're able to just, feel better and reach their goals with so much more ease. But I mean, it depends on the individual, but for most active women, we need about 100 grams of protein.
Okay.
If you don't know how many grams of protein you're eating and you want to just find out, you can download the MyFitnessPal app. It's a food logging app. It's free. They do have a premium version. You don't have to have that. Just enter your food that you eat in a whole day. Don't change anything about what you're doing. Just enter your food. And at the end of the day, check and see how many grams of protein you ate. And that will just kind of clue you in as to whether you're in that range. Like I said, if you're pretty active, you probably need around 100 grams of protein. I tell my clients all the time, lead with protein. Every single time you eat something in your day, lead a meal or a snack with protein. If you do that, you're going to be increasing the amount of protein that you're getting, I promise. And it's really going to help you be more effective.
And when you said, Beth said, what's the name of that app again?
The app is called MyFitnessPal, but I want to just, now that I brought that up, I want to bring this to everyone's attention. MyFitnessPal does allow you to enter your own information in there, and it will spit out some generic macros for you. But what this app doesn't take into account is you as an individual, your history, what your real goals are. And it typically puts women in ranges that they shouldn't be. And a lot of women will plug in there that they want to lose 2 pounds a week, which is very unrealistic. Okay. And so it doesn't give a lot of accurate numbers. So I just want y'all to be aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the gals, and Beth herself, said that she, thanks for the inspiration and the plethora of information that you gave her too. She said she's never had to watch her weight until she hit 60. And then she says, boom. It's kind of been a battle ever since to even lose just a few pounds too. So,
yeah. Well, and that's a lot of the women that I work with. A lot of them haven't had very many, issues. And then all of a sudden it's like, what is happening? And like I said, a lot of those women too have really never learned a lot. Some of them haven't learned a lot about macro-based nutrition and how to eat in balance for our body. And really when they learn how to do that, just everything changes. So
well, and you mentioned 100 grams of protein for an active woman. Define active.
I mean, if you're a person that is, walking 8 to 10,000 steps a day, if you're doing any type of light resistance training, if you're active, you're getting out in the community, and if you're lifting any weights at all, even, you're doing workouts at home, usually 100 grams of protein. I mean, it depends on the person's, there's things that I put into account, I take an in-depth look at their activity level, but age, height, weight, all of those things contribute to that number as well.
So your approach is a more, I don't want to say personal, but specific for the individual.
It is. Okay. It is. But I will say women that are over the age of 40 need to be increasing their protein.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's not even like, we don't even have to be that active. We need it, again, to preserve that muscle mass that we have, because we're losing that muscle mass. And there's so many women our age that are like walking around going, my metabolism is just broken. It's not broken. There's things that we can do to control that. And we can't always blame our hormones for everything, right? Mm-hmm. If we're losing muscle mass, what are we going to do about that? Right. Mm-hmm. So we need to be making sure we're eating protein and moving our bodies around.
Yep. All right. I don't see any other questions. I'll ask one more here. How many steps a day should there be for a goal?
So here's what I do. This is another thing that y'all can do just to kind of see where you're at. I love to see women between 7 to 10,000. Now, 10,000 is on the high range, and I hesitate to even say that, because a lot of women, as women, like, we think we have to be perfect and, crazy, right? So here's what I do with my clients. I tell them, if you've got an Apple Watch, or you have a tracking thing, even on your phone sometimes, okay, we're not going to try to be perfect, but let's get an average range of where your steps are in a day. Let's start there first. Like, let's figure out how many steps you're just naturally already taking a day, because we don't want to give you an unrealistic thing for you to go out and try to do the next day. And I want you to be able to sustain this. So let's say you're a woman that walks 5,000 steps a day. I would say, okay, well, your goal for the next couple of weeks is to get 5,500 or 6,000. Let's start there. Let's figure out how you're going to make that doable for you. And then we'll gradually add that. And you won't believe how fast they get up and, get those steps up. And it's because I'm talking to them all the time about, being mindful, like I said earlier, about parking farther away at the grocery store, taking the stairs, or just getting up and walking around through the day. When you're more mindful about those steps, you think about how much we just, sit around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So I would start there. But yeah, 7 to 10,000 is like amazing.
Excellent. Well, we definitely appreciate the time that you put into the presentation this evening, and the information that you've given us, to even just to be able to go and do something a little bit of a springboard on our own tonight too. If you want to learn more, there is a graphic that was posted on the page this evening for you to go further with Shauna if you would like to. But Shauna, again, tell us where we can find you on Facebook and Instagram. Can you do that for us?
Yes. So I am on Facebook as Shauna Phelps. I will admit I'm not on Facebook as much as I am Instagram, but I do check into Facebook every day. I'm on Instagram all the time. And that's just at Shauna Phelps. And then, of course, you can email me at shauna@shaunaphelps.com. And you can always contact me via my website, or just kind of check out some things there, or download some of my freebies. I've got some great free resources on there. Check out my blog, and that's shaunaphelps.com.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We will see you again really soon. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.